Scene: a packed auditorium at Stanford. Floodlights blaze white-hot on a single podium. Reporters, students, activists, professors, and patriots fill every seat. A voice cracks like thunder across the mic, fueled by defiance, driven by principle. This isn't a press briefing. This is a stand for liberty, a stand for speech, a stand against silence. Stanford, America, are you listening? Because history just got written, not with ink, not with tweets, not with whispers behind closed doors, but with a lawsuit, with courage, with truth launched like a thunderbolt into the storm of authoritarianism. The Stanford Daily has stepped into the ring, and they're not alone. They've thrown down the gauntlet at the feet of power. Power that dared to use immigration law as a weapon, as a sword against speech, as a cage for ideas. This isn't just about a newspaper. This is about the First Amendment. This is about the Fifth Amendment. This is about the very soul of what it means to be free. Because when students speak out, when they chant, protest, write, question, resist, they are not enemies of the state. They are patriots. They are the pulse of democracy. They are the reason this country is more than flags and borders. They are its conscience. And what did the Trump administration do? They tried to silence them. Not with arguments, not with debate, but with deportation. They said if you're a non-citizen, and if you dare raise your voice in support of Palestinians, then your visa is on the line. Your status is at risk. Your future is disposable. This isn't policy. This is political punishment. This isn't about national security. It's about silencing dissent. But Stanford said no. The students said no. The Daily said no. And now, the federal courts will hear that no echo through every chamber of justice in this land. Because you cannot erase the Constitution with a signature. You cannot exile speech with a policy memo. You cannot intimidate a generation that was raised on protest and born for resistance. The lawsuit was filed in the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of California. Ground zero for what could become a landmark case in American history. And who stands beside them? FIRE, the Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression. A name you may not hear in every cable news segment, but one that has fought for students, professors, journalists, and citizens wherever free speech was threatened. And now, FIRE calls this the first lawsuit of its kind. Not the last, not the only, but the first. A wall is being built, not of concrete, not of politics, but of precedent, of principle, of unbreakable resolve. The defendants, two names now burned into this legal battle: Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem. They now stand in the spotlight, not as defenders of liberty, but as challengers of it. And this lawsuit will test more than their policies. It will test the limits of their power. This is about more than Stanford, more than campuses, more than visas. This is about whether the government can punish you for what you believe. Whether your immigration status comes with a muzzle. Whether the state can rewrite the Bill of Rights with fear and bureaucracy. Let me be clear. This lawsuit is not a tantrum. It is not a stunt. It is not a left-wing statement or a partisan cry. It is a defense of the most sacred, most untouchable, most American of all rights. The right to speak. And yes, even speech that makes some uncomfortable. Even speech that is unpopular. Even speech about Palestine. Because if we only protect speech we agree with, then we don't have free speech at all. We have permission. And permission is not freedom. Let us remember, the First Amendment doesn't say, U.S. citizens shall have free speech. It doesn't say, only if the government agrees. It doesn't say, only if you were born here. It says Congress shall make no law. And yet here we are, watching laws be twisted, watching rights be weaponized, watching fear be legislated, but not without a fight, not without a lawsuit, not without a student newspaper standing taller than most national outlets. Stanford Daily didn't just write the story. They became the story. They didn't just report the threat. They confronted it. They turned microphones into swords, headlines into shields. And now, their fight is our fight. Because what happens in this courtroom matters. What happens in this case will echo. In every dorm room, in every newsroom, in every immigration hearing, in every protest. If they win, students win, non-citizens win, speech wins, America wins. If they lose, then we all lose something we'll never get back. So I say this to every student. Keep speaking, keep writing, keep resisting, and to every lawmaker trying to silence them, we see you, we challenge you, we will not be quiet. Because speech is not a visa condition. Speech is not a criminal act. Speech is not terrorism. Speech is the heartbeat of this nation. And no administration, past, present, or future, has the right to cut that heartbeat off. So let the court hear it. Let the country feel it. Let the world know. You can deport people, but you can't deport truth. And if the Constitution means anything, it means that the Stanford Daily just did something historic. They didn't just print the news. They became the front page of the American struggle for freedom. The fight has begun. The line has been drawn. The First Amendment just lawyered up. And the cannons of speech are loaded and aimed at tyranny.